I have so many things to say, but I'm going to start by saying, was she set up? Like spiritually. Okay, so I'm going to get onto all of that. I'm going to talk about how I am no longer going to be. Here's my thing. I see people who were so intelligent and they felt it seems like they had the answers to breaking the code in this matrix. And it comes to me that they don't have the answer. They think they do, but they're not going to break the code to the original matrix. It's not going to happen because it was put in place by something that nobody else can outsmart. And it was put in place by a being that's not malevolent. Now this particular I'm getting quiet because I'm thinking about something. So if I get quiet, I'm trying to confirm something. Okay. Um, I don't want to get into what could have happened to cause the matrix to come in place to kind of bring us back. But I'm not going to question it at this level of where I am because I have to rise up and get into new information, you know. So I don't want to question it at this level and try to figure it out because it's going to be too hard to figure it out. All I have to say is before the matrix, we as some people say, kakusas, um, meaning we weren't human, we were a different form. I know what I look like, I know what I was, but I don't want to get into that conversation because I just think it'd be weird. And it's just not, I don't feel like it's appropriate for a certain consciousness. Let me say, it's not that I don't want to say it, it's not appropriate for a certain consciousness. But we weren't human. Human, to me, started inside the matrix. It did not start outside the matrix. And we were something different. Everybody was something different. All of us weren't the same. But anyway, so I said to say I used to be like, oh, I wish I was like that because I always felt like I wasn't as intelligent as other people, but I never felt like I was lacking in spirituality. That's for sure. I felt like I was never lacking in that. But that's because of things that happened to me as a little girl. I told you, as I said before, I was kind of, something happened where I was separated from myself as a little girl and I was turned upside down. I was basically my shadow. Instead of operating in my highest form, I was my shadow for a very long time. Okay. And I literally felt like I was cut off from the intelligence that I originally was. I remember as a little girl, I felt like something happened to cut me off from that high intelligence. But now I'm seeing the people that appear to just really have the answers that's cracking the code. They're not really cracking the code, and actually they got caught up. I say what she set up. I talked about a young lady who has a decent channel on YouTube who was recently having financial difficulty. That I'm not talking about financial. I understand financial difficulty, meaning that I don't have room to judge anybody on that. But I will say that I just saw with this young lady, it's almost like I saw blood coming down both sides of her head. And I don't want to call her name because I don't like to call people names like that. But anyway, she's very smart. She talks about the matrix a lot. She talks about codes and she talked about, that's a pretty decent sized YouTube channel. But lately she's been having the financial difficulties and she's feel like it's because of the codes and stuff like that and people messing with her. And I'm not saying that she's wrong about that because I know completely what she's talking about. But the problem is, again, is that people don't like to work together. So You know, when you know something, you feel like you have all the answers. You can't have all the answers because this kind of stuff won't be happening to you. And I'm just saying that not to judge. But if you have all these answers, no matter what kind of coding somebody use, it would not happen to you because you got the answers to override their codes. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So you ain't got all the answers. As intelligent as you are, you do not have all the answers. Because that would not have happened if you would have had all the answers. And that's me just speaking like it's just what it is. If you are all knowing and you know, then you already know the code to override it. You know what to do to prevent it from happening. Now, there's a much higher aspect of the awareness, of your awareness. There's a much higher aspect that do already have the answer. But a lot of people are in a consciousness, especially right in this consciousness, that where you don't really know the answers because you are still, a lot of us are slowly tapping into those higher forms of our own awareness. We're tapping into it. We're doing the work to tap into it, and we're not completely there to have all the answers. Because this is supposed to be a journey. It's supposed to be a journey. But as long as you are on the right path, those higher forms of your awareness are going to prevent certain things from taking place that's not supposed to take place. That's not supposed to take place. There's some things take place that might seem rough, but it's for your own continued growth. You know? So basically, this person, I remember having, it's not a dream. I remember having, I would call it a dream, but I don't believe that it was. And I would just be like, oh, I wish I was intelligent like that. They knew this person has something similar going on with them to what was going on with me, even though I was going through a little bit more rough as far as, you know, like dealing with a certain AI, kind of being attacked psychologically, where it was almost like the test on the dogs, where the dogs can feel all these different things and pins and stuff like that, and you can feel it, and it's like you can't tell anybody because you know it's not seen, but you feel something hitting you, touching you, and all that stuff. This is what I was going through, and I know this is what she was going through. And it's like, it looked like she found a way to get away from that. It's like, man, she found a way not to have to deal with that crap. She found a way. And I was like, man, I wish I could be that smart. She's so intelligent, and I just wish I could be that smart so I would not have to keep dealing with this. Just needs to be over with. It needs to be over with. I keep doing the work, and it's like, oh, trust me, I've come a long way. Let me just say I've come a long way, because I don't want to take away from the work that I put in. And I certainly don't want to sound like a victim, but at that time I felt like a victim. But now I really don't feel like a victim, but I am ready for it to be over with, but I get that this is a journey. Let me just say I've come a long way, so I don't want to sound like, oh, woe is me. I don't want to sound like that. I've come a very long way, even though I'm still dealing with stuff. I'm still dealing with stuff because I'm not completely out of this simulation. So I'm going to keep dealing with stuff a little bit until I get completely out, because my highest awareness, that's how it's set up for me to continue to go through these little things until I get all the way out, not for me to be comfortable. It's time to get out. Time to get out. So I'm not going to be allowed to be completely comfortable until I get out. That's just the way it is. But I remember a time, I don't keep up with dates, but I'll say maybe a month and a half ago, that I remember it's like a dream, but I was in this room, and I was like, I wish I can be that smart. I wish I can be that smart. She's so intelligent, and she found a way not to have to deal with this type of stuff that is so traumatizing, that is just like so, it's like you're being traumatized every single day. It's constant attacks, and she found a way to get around it, because she's smart and she understands certain things. But you cannot outsmart the original intelligence. You cannot outsmart the one who put it in place. You cannot do it. And the one who put the original intelligence in place is not this so-called masculine that wants to trap people in this false matrix. Not that one. not that one, but that particular masculine wants to kind of attack certain people that have the ability to get out. That masculine is is attacking particular people, entities, whether male or female, that have the ability to break it. It's almost time for me to be finished. So let me get off her. All I'm gonna say is that I saw that she's in trouble. This is not for me to think anything about it, but it's like, you need to stop. You need to stop. Yes, she's smart, but she wasn't smart enough. Now, Christian Keys. So now people are finding out that, not that he was full of shit. It's not to say that he wasn't telling the truth. I really believe that it was some truth to what he was saying. He was allowing the public to believe that it was Tyler Perry. He did allow that to happen. But I don't want to get into that. I want to say this. I remember my very first thing when I said Christian Keys Live, my very first video that I uploaded about Christian Keys Live. It's called his first initial, Keyes, Live. This very first one. And I said that I had a dream that I saw him, and it was in this male suits. It's a shop that sells suits. And I saw his friend, the person that he had helped to cast on All the Queen's Men, Eva Marcel. But it didn't look like they were in a relationship. It looked like they were just good friends. And she was laughing, he was laughing and stuff. But I saw him and he didn't look like himself. He looked like he had a belly, but he looked almost sickly. But he didn't, here's the thing. Now I see it. It was like, but why is he smiling? It's like he don't know he's sick. And I saw him go into a dressing room. I don't know why, because it's not like I followed him. It's like my spirit was taken to see something else. And it's like I was taken to this dressing room where he was trying on clothes. And like he was taking off his shirt, and I saw his feet and stuff. It's like his right foot was swollen. What is about the right foot? I believe it was the right foot. Was it right or left? Let me check. Hold on. It's the right foot that was swollen. What is it about the right foot being swollen? It was like, and it had little sores on it. And like, you know how some people have like lymphedema or whatever, like the swollen foot, edema in their foot and stuff like that. That's how it was swollen, but he had sores. And he had a big belly. But it's like he was in a good mood, like he didn't realize that he had this big belly and this swollen right foot. It was like it was only for me to see that he had this big belly and this swollen right foot. But he didn't realize that he had any problems. So it's like he's smiling and carrying on like he didn't know, he didn't see what I saw. Because what I saw was something spiritually going on with him. And when he did this live, okay, it's because he held all this stuff in, and now he finally let off his chest. But then I saw more visions of where it sounds like he's part of some kind of occult. And he made some kind of agreements. He might have signed some kind of contracts, because then I saw, I'm about to run out of time. Let me hurry. I saw where he was taken up. I saw where his soul was taken up to this cloud. And then I saw him in another scene wearing a black suit. And it seemed like he was conscious. And then next thing I know, his head fell back like he was unconscious. Then in another scene, I saw him standing up erect wearing this black and red suit. So that let me know another entity took over his body. That's what happened. He was taken. When I say his soul, I don't mean his real, most purest form of himself. I'm talking about where he is right now. His identity was taken, and something else has taken over him. And I'm going to end this because I'm about to run out of time. I should have cleared my tablet. I said to say that's what I saw. That he did. I saw all these things that was going on with him. That he's really sick, but he might not be aware that he's sick. Some entity took over. He's taken over by something else completely. Now I'm gonna say this. I saw also where he might be found guilty of something, and I know something came out about this All the Queen's Men, and he took somebody else's content and made it his own. But I don't know if that's exactly what it is. It's some other reason why that he's going to be found guilty. I don't know if he's going to get jail time, prison time. I don't know what's going to happen. But I saw he's going to be found guilty of something. I believe that he was set up. I believe he was played, even though